Welcome to Cool Bits, where we point out our favorite small video game moments. A cool bit can be a secret, an Easter egg, or just a small detail that really resonated with us. And this time, we'll be taking a look at a variety of Easter eggs in Super Mario Maker 2. And as it turns out, the secret festivities start before the game even begins, as there are 4 different startup sequences that might appear when you first boot up the game. This is the one you're most likely to see, but there are 3 others that might randomly pop up. Now, while creating stages might be pretty cut and dry, there are a few Easter eggs you might stumble across when working on your creation. Such as what happens if you try to erase Mario himself. Aww, the poor guy's terrified of being erased from existence. Although this next Easter egg isn't strictly editor-based, it's definitely contingent on some very deliberate level design, or maybe lack thereof. Because check out what happens after Mario reaches the goal in any of the retro styles, but hits some kind of obstacle that blocks his path. Yeah, the poor guy basically just curls up in the fetal position. Between this and nearly being erased, I'm starting to feel sorry for the guy. This even works, by the way, if you obscure the castle's door at the end of a Super Mario Bros. Style level with a locked warp door. But if you're feeling generous, you can always toss Mario the key to help him move on with his life. Now, speaking of warp doors, have you ever tried knocking on them with a few rapid taps? A handful of knocks will result in someone knocking back, which is a little creepy. But if you knock it a little longer, eventually someone's gonna answer. And that someone is Skinny Mario. You know what, maybe it was better before he answered the door. So yeah, even though Skinny Mario was cut as a gameplay mechanic from Super Mario Maker 2, he did manage to stick around as an Easter egg. And how, as he appears in all of his various forms, including a variety of power-ups which are dependent on which game style you're in. So let's take a quick look at them all. Now, all of these so far return from the original Super Mario Maker. However, since Super Mario Maker 2 also has a brand new 3D world style, there are a few new surprises. Yep, even 8-bit Luigi drops by because, as you might recall, he was a big deal in Super Mario 3D World as he appeared all over the game in celebration of the Year of Luigi. Beyond the stage creator, there are even more Easter eggs to find when playing the game itself, including some classic references that old-school Mario fans might recognize. Such as what happens if you wait around by a chain chomp in the Super Mario Bros. 3 style. Stick around long enough and you'll eventually see him break free, just like in the original game. It's pretty terrifying. Of course, Super Mario Bros. 3 has an even more well-known secret, being the white block trick, in which crouching on it for 5 seconds would lead to Mario mysteriously dropping into the background and literally going behind the scenes. And even though the full trick doesn't quite return in Super Mario Maker 2, check out what happens if you try. Yep, that little hop is all that Mario can muster after 30 years. But hey, it's something, which is still a neat acknowledgement of a classic trick all the same. Beyond the retro callbacks, the Super Mario World style is hiding an entirely new Easter egg all its own, but it only appears at night. And even then, only in level themes that feature a star-filled background. But under those circumstances, you might just spot the Undo dog catching a rocket ride along the top half of the stage's background. Which is a cute, if not quite fully canonical touch. But wait, there's more! Because he'll also appear in the background of the vertical sub-areas too. This time riding the rocket upward diagonally, about 5 to 6 screens from the top of the area. But mysteriously, he doesn't appear in the vertical sub-area's winter theme. Instead, a floating robot takes his place. Huh. Next, the Super Mario 3D World style introduces a few new details all of its own. First up is what happens if you throw away poor Koopa Troopa's shell. Aww, look how sad he is! And in case you're not done torturing the poor creature, try destroying his ride to catch a few more secrets. Because among the debris, you might see random sand pails or baseballs. So not only is this poor guy shellless, but he has no car and you ruined his vacation. This poor Koopa Troopa just can't catch a break. Finally, if you want to try torturing another creature for a change, Skip Squeak has a depressing secret all of its own. Now typically these guys will try their best to return to their starting position if they're somehow moved during gameplay. But if it's unable to get back for any reason, it too will become overwhelmed with sadness. It really makes you start to question who the real villain is here. But hey, we still think it's a pretty cool bit. And that wraps it up for this episode of Cool Bits from Super Mario Maker 2. Now let us know if you have any cool bits of your own by posting in the comments, and we may feature it in a future episode. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more cool bits and everything else Nintendo too.